All right, so our lesson today is combining like terms. Now, combining like terms is very simply means when we add and subtract numbers, they must have the same either variable or non-variable attached to it. So, for example, we know we can do 2 plus 3. We can because they're both whole numbers that have no variables attached to them. We can add them together and we get 5, obviously. So, and then we know also that if we have 2x plus 3x, once again, we can combine those terms because they both have an x attached to it. So we know 2x plus 3x is simply 5x. You just add the numbers you have and keep the x or the whatever variable you're given attached to it. Now, we can do that and we can do that. But what we can't do is if we had 2x plus 3. Because this number has an x attached to it, and this one does not, we cannot combine them. We cannot add them or subtract them. So this does not compute. So we can't do that, and that's a really important lesson to learn. It's something that we'll be doing all year, is that anytime you have a number with a letter added or subtracted to a number without a letter, you cannot do that. No, you can't do that at all. So 2x plus 3 does not equal 5x. No. So let's try another example. Negative 6x plus 7x. They both have x's attached to it. Yes, we can combine them. We know that negative 6x plus 7x equals 1x, or just x. Very simple. Negative y minus 10y. They both have a y attached to it. We can do this problem. Negative y minus 10y equals negative 11y. Okay? Very simple concept. Let's add a little more fun to it. X minus 10 plus 9x minus 3. Now, we have both numbers with variables and numbers without variables. And now you can only combine like terms. So we know our x can combine and our numbers without a variable can combine. So let's do that. X plus 9x. Now look, we have our plus sign is before the 9, so that's what makes it positive. So x plus 9x, and we know because if there's letters by itself, what's in front of it? A 1. So 1x plus 9x equals 10x. Now we look at our number two numbers. Now look, our 10 here has a minus sign in front of it. Because that minus sign is in front of the 10, this turns this into a negative 10. So negative 10 minus 3. Always look at the sign in front of the number you're trying to combine. Negative 10 minus 3. When we do that, we get negative 13. Now, because this 10x has your x here, and the 13 does not, your problem is finished. You cannot do any more. You cannot combine those two terms. It must stay like the way it is. You are simplifying. You are not solving. If you were solving, you would finish the equation. But if you're just simplifying, you're just trying to narrow it down to as little, small as you can. Let's try a different example. And feel free anytime to pause the video and write these notes down. Okay, you don't have to try to keep up with me. You can pause it. You can take your time with it. Negative 2x plus 11 plus 6x. Now, once again, we have two terms that have variables and one term that does not. So we can combine our two terms with the variables. Negative 2x plus 6x. When we combine those together, we get 4x. And now we bring down our plus 11 because there's no other term to combine with the 11. It just comes down and stays the way it is, and that's your final answer. One more. X plus 4 minus 9 minus 5x. Okay? Now, same deal. You have your terms with letters attached and terms with no letters attached. So you can only combine the ones that are alike. Your letters get combined, your non-letters get combined. So now we look at our signs in front. Our x here is positive because there's nothing in front of it. That means it's positive. And then our 5x here has a minus sign in front of it, which means it's negative. So we do x minus 5x. So x minus 5x would be negative 4x. Now we look at our terms in the middle. 4 is positive because of the plus sign in front of it, and 9 is negative, or minus, because of the minus sign. So we just do 4 minus 9. And 4 minus 9 equals negative 5. Now because we have our x here and no x here, our problem is complete.